Thanks for joining us. This is I'm Not Wrong with Jeff and Andrew. I'm Jeff, he's Andrew. Let's get right into it. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than some of our episodes, although ultimately not that different because it's really just the two of us talking to each other. But we have a specific goal in mind tonight. We've decided that in addition to our normal episodes, we're going to grace all of you with the joys of us doing a rewatch of a trash TV show. Now, this could be a watch along of something live that's airing currently, or it could be something that's a rewatch. I think Andrew and I are both leaning towards what I would call classic trash TV, and we're going to kind of go through a little bit of a debate here because I think we have different ideas of what we want to get into and what we want to watch, but we have some specific criteria Andrew has laid out, and we'll kind of go through a debate of sorts to arrive at a show. If you have thoughts after you watch this and you think we picked the wrong thing, throw it in the comments. Send us some suggestions. All right, Andrew. So
the only thought's really going to be like, is this how these grown men choose to spend their unemployment? Like, shouldn't they be looking for jobs and stuff? And the answer to both questions is yes.
I do choose to spend my time this way. I also, by the way, quick garden update, because that's the other way I'm spending my time.
Yes.
I have some tomatoes that are growing. My peppers are starting to bud. I think I have to replant my lettuce. I've harvested my lettuce 3 or 4 times now, but it's not coming back this time. So I think it's kind of gone beyond its limit, so I'm gonna have to probably replant my lettuce. Have some strawberries starting to bud, cucumbers growing strong, starting to get a cucumber on there. So going very, very well.
Are green tomatoes just tomatoes get picked early in the South and then fried, or are green tomatoes its own varietal?
I want to say I believe they are their own varietal. Now I know you could just pick a tomato early, and I think you can still eat it. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I will do some research, and we'll come back to that as we get into this. But I'm not 100%
sure. Other follow-up question. I just saw something online, and we may have discussed briefly, but I do believe that carrots were not always orange, and that was mostly a Dutch invention. Are we growing multicolored carrots? Or do we just blindly follow the Dutch? Which column do you fall into, Jeffrey?
So I don't know what color my carrots will be. I planted seeds of multicolored carrots, but I cannot see them. I did get my carrots. My carrots are growing strong based on the evidence of the sprouts coming up. But I don't know what colors I will be harvesting yet, as they are obviously underground. I also planting potatoes in a different planting thing now.
Okay, first things first. Multicolored carrot, are we talking like the yellows, the oranges, the purples? Like, I think I've seen a red not too long ago. Like, how many colors are we dealing with here? And also potatoes, are we russet or are we red skin? Basically, are we peeling them or are we just going to plop them in a pot and mash them after?
I'm probably going to do russet potatoes, largely because one of the primary uses for them within my household is baked potatoes. I do loaded baked potatoes a lot as a very basic, easy, and relatively healthy lunch. Because you can do
oven or microwave?
Oven.
How much time do you have on your hands? So you basically just set aside 2 hours every day for lunch. You're an animal.
No, so I throw them in before I'll go exercise, and I'll do the full coat them in avocado oil and salt, throw them in the oven at 400 degrees for 1 hour. You don't need to. If you do 400, they will come out perfectly done in 1 hour. And then you can load that up with some chicken or some ground beef or whatnot, pulled pork, whatever you have, and have a very healthy, robust, hearty meal. I do that a lot.
I feel like the healthy is a very slippery slope the way I handle a potato. It's like you add enough cheese, sour cream, ranch dressing, bacon, meat. You can turn anything into a coronary.
Okay, well, yes, fair. But, I mean, potatoes are also, super loaded with nutrients. So just in general, a fairly hearty meal that's very low cost. Because even if you're buying potatoes, you can buy a 5-pound bag of potatoes for like $3. And it's easy. And you're right, it does take time because I'm not a big fan of microwave. I'll do it in a pinch if I really, really had to, but they're not nearly as good. So I take the time for the oven. I just plan in advance. If I'm going to eat at X time, I make sure my potatoes are in the oven an hour minimum before that.
And I was about to start campaigning on behalf of the mashed potato as the superior form of potato, but I've realized that's just because the mashed, you can put in unethical amounts of butter. Nobody knows, and it just makes it better. So it's basically just a delivery mechanism for butter.
It is.
which
I'm not.
at that point,
I'm not a big mashed potato guy. I mean, I'll eat them. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a much bigger fan of like a salt crusted baked potato because the other benefit is like if you get that skin nice and crisp, with a nice fluffy interior. It's got some good texture to it. I'm a really big fan. 'Cause
so you eat the
I'm not the
skin
guy who
too.
scoops out the inside. Like I eat the full potato. The skin is the best
Okay.
part of the potato to me.
Nutritionally, I'm sure.
Taste
Culinarily, very up for debate for me, but okay, fine.
I mean, like, if you
Um,
do it again, they've got to be. You got to have some salt on it, and you need to do it when it's cooking so it gets some flavor. And obviously, you have to clean the potatoes first. But if you clean them well, use some oil and stuff on them so they crisp up, and you get some salt on them. Very tasty
Part of me wants to see how long we can keep going on this, and
on potatoes.
I'm lean, not even potatoes in it itself, but anything other than the stated goal of us gathering. Because my follow-up question, in the vein of drawing this out, is fruit wash, yes or no? Like any type of fruit veg wash, do you have something special? I'm assuming you at this point, you're moving your way towards crunchy hippie. You make something yourself, don't you? I'm thinking some type of water vinegar mix with like an essential oil and like
I don't.
you sage around it or something.
I don't. So I do always wash my vegetables, fruits, whatnot, because I do. But I'm a strictly throw them in a colander, rinse them with water. With a potato or something that's grown and like covered in dirt, I'll scrub it clean a little bit so I'm not eating a bunch of dirt. That's more for flavor, honestly, than health. I'm not really worried about the health aspects. And like if I was really worried, if I were to do something, at most I would do a diluted vinegar bath for like strawberries and stuff. Because I eat a lot of strawberries. Strawberries can sometimes get things in them. But I pretty much just like throw them in a colander, rinse them with water, scrub off the obvious dirt, and everything else is stuff that I've probably been eating my whole life, and it's not going to kill me, so I'm not going to die.
You know, I was trying to really go down this like nutritional role, and my Google search is the mineral content in dirt bioavailable? Because the thought process being, I mean, what is, dirt? There's some iron and other such crap in there. We need minerals and rocks and crap. So, yeah, I mean, we need salt. That's a mineral. So, I was wondering if there's any type of health benefit, but the AI overview that I do not trust says generally no. So, this might just be confirmation bias because I feel like that was BS. But anyway, potatoes, dirt, yes.
And to answer your original question, just to drag this out a slight bit longer, to answer your previous question, according to Google AI, green tomatoes are in fact just tomatoes that are mature but have not fully ripened yet, so they are just picked early.
So the only real preparation I've seen in the green tomato is in the
I've
fry
only ever
or
seen
the
fried green
movie.
tomatoes.
And I'm assuming you pick it earlier so it's firmer so that you could fry it. That's the thought.
That, or maybe it's because it's got a little more bitterness, and when it's fried, you're going to get a little bit of that sweetness back. But I don't know. Because I mean, tomatoes in general are relatively sweet. So it might be because they're not fully ripe, they're more bitter. That's the only thing I can figure.
Okay, last comment I have a question around now that you're in agriculture, we'll say. You're an ag. You're an ag guy. Um, I personally feel like some of the scientific differentiation between like fruits, vegetables, berries, accessory berries, and other such nonsense. Who cares? The dividing line should be is it sweet or if it's savory? If it's sweet, it's a fruit. If it's savory, it's a vegetable.
I mean, so I don't have a problem.
Agree or disagree?
I have no problem with that because, frankly,
Mm.
like the argument is very like technically a banana is a berry, but
Yes, exactly.
and I believe I can't remember, or like one of the common berries is not a berry, and it might be a strawberry. I can't remember. Like so,
And now that we're talking, I feel like bananas and peas should be like cousins in
because
the
it's within a
evolutionary
pod.
chain of, yes, because it's, like the pod with the mechanism for the seeds.
Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know the delineation between vegetable and fruit. Like, I don't remember the scientific. I know it's got to do with like the way in which the seed is delivered, blah blah blah. I don't care about that. So I'm with you. Like,
I
pretty
honestly
much
had no idea
sweet
what
fruit, I'm cool with
any
that.
I had no idea what any of the criteria was. So if that's actually even remotely true, I'm impressed. Well, I mean, you are the crunchy granola hippie at this point, so that makes sense. You're an egg.
I am.
You're an egg. What? So I can't wait till you start like making your clothes. It's gonna be great.
That is unlikely to happen for many reasons. Largest among them being the fact that I can go and grow things, I can do things. Crafty type things are not within my wheelhouse of talents.
No, a garden is just a gateway drug to full-on homesteading, especially
Oh, I
living
would
where
fully
you live.
homestead. I just would
Okay,
probably be bartering.
exactly.
I would probably be bartering for my clothes with other homesteaders. I don't foresee myself making my own clothes.
I would say have
I
your
would
wife try to
fully
do
go
that.
homestead though and raise livestock for sure.
But yeah, no, she's way too high power execu lady to
Oh yeah,
do
my
that.
life is not
Okay.
not all about that
Yeah,
life,
no,
but I am all about
no.
like, hey, let's sell our stuff and go buy a bunch of land and go homestead off the grid. I would do that tomorrow, but
You're 90% of the way to the van life dream. You just said get a home instead of get a vehicle.
yeah, there's a big difference though. I feel like a
Again,
home.
gateway. Gateway. Where this is all a gateway. It is the slope, it's slippery, and you are sliding. Ooh, feel the alliteration.
I don't feel myself sliding down to the point of I'm like, hey, let's just not have a house and live in a bus.
I see it happening because if I had this conversation 2 years ago, Jeffrey, 2 years ago, Jeffrey does not have a garden. And that's a fact.
No, but
And he would
but
have
2 years
he
ago,
would
we
have
were all
called
about
me
getting off the grid.
but 2 years ago you would have called me some flavor of dirty and or hippie if I made this suggestion, like Lur, ruler of Omicron Persei 8, and I'm right. So again, slippery slope sliding.
I guess we'll check back in 2 years. We'll see where we're at.
2 years. 2 years you'll be coming in from Starlink in like middle of nowhere, Montana. It's like, dude, I'm pretty much living Yellowstone. It's kind of weak, but whatever. I don't deal with Kevin Costner. I'm like, all right, happy for you, Jeff.
I could see that. I could see that being a path in which we could go. So let's get into the actual topic we came to discuss. Andrew, you got some criteria. Let's lay them out for the audience.
All right. So, what I came up with in P-Brain was the show that we picked, what we like most about the show, why we think it's better than today's shows, because we are kind of leaning towards that nostalgia, how the show we've selected changed TV for better or worse, what we can remember, where to follow along if you want to watch as well, and the itch we're trying to scratch by watching this program.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say let's be real here. How it changed TV is going to be for the worse. There's no way, there's no reality in which any of the shows we've got in mind were a positive impact on society or television. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good with what you've laid out. I have a show in mind. I have a couple though, and I will say mine is more. I've got a show in mind, but less about rather than defend it. I have more of a kind of a methodology and like the things I'm looking for in a show, and it's specifically I am looking for high levels of drama that feels less scripted than today's trash TV. I'm looking for characters that I can feel attached to, where I can take sides. I want an obvious villain, an obvious kind of like, doesn't need to be hero, but an obvious villain that everybody can gang up on, that I can get behind, like, oh yeah, that person sucks. And I want to be able to really see, like, I would like something ideally that has multiple seasons, seasonal iterations. And I would like to get away from a competition show, but we'll get into that in a minute.
You're about to pitch me Keeping Up with the Kardashians, aren't
I
you?
am very much not. I'm going to pitch something you're not expecting.
Okay. Because I thought you were going to go for the Kardashians, which I just saw a clip
I've
of that
never seen the
actually.
Kardashians in my life, and I really would like to keep it that way.
I know, but I saw a clip, and it was the kid came over to show Kim that he found her in Roblox, and somebody made a Kim Kardashian sex tape video game in Roblox, and like used her face, and allegedly like Northwest or St. West, one of the West kids found it, and she was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna sue them," and I'm like, "There's no way that wasn't scripted," but also. Holy train wreck, Batman.
So, and that's one of my things I'm looking for is like, I think we can both agree. We're talking, so one of the things we talked about today's shows versus yesteryear And I think we're both leaning yesteryear. One of the big things for me is like I watch a lot of current day trash TV because I don't have a lot of things to do and I've got a lot of free time and it's something to pass my day. That said, I think we can both agree, right, Andrew, that while all those shows are never truly reality, so to speak, I feel like the stuff in the early 2000s was a lot less produced. Like those scenes felt more organic than they do today, where maybe they were just faking it better. But I feel like it was just like they put them, it was more of like a Blair Witch situation where it was like, we're going to give you a prompt and you go and do whatever you do. Whereas now I think they're fully scripting scenes and actually saying like, reshoot this because we didn't like it.
So essentially, yeah, I think there was a little bit more live magic back in the day. I think it was very much here's a situation.
Yes.
And the production very much took the stance of we're not responsible for what happens.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
because this is depending on the time frame, this is Jackass, Jamie Kennedy Experiment, this is prank TV, which is really just go up and try and assault strangers. Like, we're just kidding. Like, I mean, that's still around a bit, but we also forget that, some of like the gross out extreme kind of mid 2000s nonsense like the edgelord that like everybody got into. I mean, yeah, not necessarily the best. So this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
So you mentioned having a couple, at least some in mind. Like, oh, give me one, because I only really have one in mind.
I have three
And
in
I know
mind.
I've mentioned it before.
I have three
So,
in mind that are of similar vein, none of
okay.
which are competition shows. Because I went back, we have a large catalog of shows from our past, some that we've seen, some that we haven't, but we're familiar with, that I was trying to pull from. Like, we've talked a lot about Flavor of Love and the Flavor of Love expanded universe, which is
The
very much a thing.
cinematic universe.
What?
The Flavor of Love cinematic universe.
It's
The
very much a
FCU.
thing. We're not making this up. It's a thing. So I was thinking about that, and I thought, Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, I Love Money, which was a classic in not only just in the history of trash TV, but Andrew, a classic in the history of our specific shared experience in life. that was
And really, like the pinnacle, I would say, almost like the early pinnacle of pure exploitation, because it used to be that we needed a flimsy context or premise to get these people together. Like, this is long before Love Island, which was just be there, be sluts, and get naked. Like, oh, no, 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 no. You had prizes. You were competing for the love of Flavor Flav, for crying out loud.
you were competing to be Brett Michaels' new girl. I mean, it was the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I Love
He
Money.
was going to write a song about you with the same three chords.
And I Love Money threw all that away and said, let's take the greatest people from these shows and put them together competing for the one and only thing they truly care about.
Their true love.
And fame and 15 minutes of fame. So I was thinking about a lot of those, but then I kind of went back and I said, I don't think, at least right now, what I want to dive back into for the first time we're doing this is a reality competition show. Because they're fun, they can be entertaining, but there's the whole like who gets eliminated whole thing. It's a thing, I get into it, but that's not what I was thinking for. So then I said, okay, do I want to get into like ultra trashy people, or do I want to get into what I think really started to break the mold? So one, the Flavor Flav cinematic universe really started with the Surreal Life. So that's suggestion number one. Challenge there is that it is not accessible online in many places, so it would be a challenge for us. So Surreal Life was a celebrity version of a much older and more well-known show, The Real World. So The Real World is option number two. And then the option number three is another real world-esque show that the big challenge here is, again, don't know if we can find it, but for a short period of time, like 2 years, MTV did a show called Fraternity Life, focused on the State University of New York in Buffalo. And that show is funny to me largely because I do remember watching it one in high school, and I do remember thinking, like, while being in a fraternity, like, this is so incredibly inaccurate to the way anything actually is. So my main contenders, though, Andrew, would be The Surreal Life or The Real World. And we could pick a specific season of The Real World. But like I was thinking like the Real World Las Vegas, something like that. Like that was one of those things that like I remember that being very, very big. And that was before reality TV was huge. So it's very unproduced.
I'm debating if I'm conflating real world and road rules and the challenge that I think eventually spawned off of them. So real world was just
Road Rules definitely is its own show. Real World
yeah,
was
I know
Road
that.
Rules.
I know that. So real world was just like 12-ish
Seven
people
strangers
thrown
looking.
into a
Seven
house.
strangers live in a house, and when things stop being polite and things start getting
Mad
real.
real
Yeah,
world. Mad real world.
it's the
Okay.
Chappelle Show sketch only with not black people.
That's probably gonna be I just I worry that I would hold the show against that skit, which is so like again, peak Chappelle from that time period was a cultural moment. Like we were
Oh, for
walking down the
sure.
hallway in high school yelling, "I'm Rick James, bitch!" And nobody knew who the hell Rick James was
And,
outside of the skit.
yeah, it was like 2 seasons, and somehow it became the biggest thing in the world, and people don't realize how short it was. So yeah, I mean, I agree.
Mhm.
The Chappelle Show is an untouchable
So
part
that would be
of
my
history.
only concern. However, holy crap, I'm looking. It says 33 seasons. It started in 92.
Exactly. So Real World goes way back. I mean, it's before reality TV was a thing. And that's one of like when we talk about like when we were talking about some of the things, in your criteria, like things that we remember about it. I haven't seen every season of The Real World, but I've seen some that I remember watching in like middle school and high school. And like it's got some great moments to it. It's not as produced. It's a lot more rough around the edges. And it's Jersey Shore before the Jersey Shore. Because those people knew they were going to get
That's
famous. The Real World people, a lot of them didn't.
that's what I was gonna say. My only concern at this point is like what you were describing, and I was like, well, shit, I think I'd rather just watch Jersey Shore because. Well, the other thing we forget though is season one Jersey Shore still had Angela, and it was terrible until she left.
So I've never actually watched Jersey Shore except for bits and pieces because when it was on, I absolutely hated the things I saw and refused to get into it. So I
I
could be talked
mean,
into the Jersey Shore, but so that's where I'm leaning, Andrew. Is I'm leaning VH1, MTV, 90s, like 90s to 2008 uh, reality show, like somewhere in that vein. I don't want to go older, newer than that, I don't think, because I think that's when you start to get heavily produced. And I don't really want a competition show because competition shows by definition are super produced because you can always tell that like the producers are in the ear of Flava Flav or Bret Michaels or whoever, like you need to keep this person around because they make good drama. When it's a show where no one's going home and it's just like everybody hates that dude because he's a prick, it's way more entertaining. And if we're watching it to talk about it, I really want to talk about how the people are.
yeah, but if that's what we're going for, is that really the best pond to go fishing in?
But
If
this is where
if
you can state your
again,
case. That's why we're having this debate.
if we're looking if we're looking to really drudge the bottom of society, what would you think is worse? Because I'm still, based on what we've heard, I think I'm either I want to rewatch something, hit my nostalgia button. I'm almost 40, so
Okay. So what?
I'm
Yeah. So
leaning
you've got something
towards.
in mind. What are you pitching? I think I know.
I'm pitching either Flav or not. We've talked about it. Jersey Shore.
Okay. So between the two, I am more in favor of Jersey Shore for the reasons I said. Flavor of Love definitely has this nostalgia factor. Like you and I watched it together. There is some fun to that, but I don't know. I feel like a competition show is not as organic. Like I guess again, what are we looking for? Are we looking for the organic? Like what itch are we trying to scratch? Is the last question on your criteria, and I think it's the biggest one. Is to me, I'm more interested. Like I want to get to some point. And I know this is pathetic. I know it's a little bit sad, but I'll admit it. I want to get invested in
Bless
the
you.
characters, so to speak. I don't get as invested in a reality competition show from 20 years ago as I might even in a Jersey Shore because I've never watched Jersey Shore. So I might get invested in some of those like little love triangles and things like that in the sense that like it will draw me in. It will make me want to watch the next episode. I don't know that I can get there with Flavor of Love again because I do ultimately know how it all plays out.
Yeah, there is
Like a competition a second time is eh.
fair. Um, I question competition because to have a competition implies that there's a prize. Um, maybe we can. Eh. And that's also my thought is if we're looking for, the real world, early real world, like you sign up for that because what? They're gonna give you some money, you go somewhere for a while, and you get to be on camera. It sounds funny. Like this is before it was a mechanism to launch like weight loss teas and other.
Yeah, so
So
the original Real World, from what I remember, the main reason to go on it, like you said, like some of those people would end up on the challenge and stuff like that, so they'd like just keep trying to keep their fame alive. But a lot of it was like people that were getting ready, like in college age or just graduating college and didn't want to go be real people yet. And it was like, wait, you're
yeah,
gonna let me go live in a really cool place for a summer and I just get to drink and do whatever. But we just want to like the season that sticks in my mind the most is Real World Las Vegas. And that's again just a bunch of 20 somethings that very clearly were like, I don't want to have a job, but you're going to pay for me to live at the Palms Hotel and in a penthouse, and I can drink all I want and hook up with people, and that's it. Like, that's what the show was basically about. It was like, I don't want to be a real person yet.
yes,
Well,
100%. Um, I guess my hesitation to that is the the lack of any like Flavor of Love. The draw was holy crap, it's Flav Flav, he's famous. Like admittedly Jersey Shore became its own cultural phenomenon. My only hesitation like the real world is the am I gonna care factor.
fair. Okay.
So that's the only reason why I'm like not ready to just jump in with it because there's got to be something there. But now I'm going down like the MTV trash TV rabbit hole, and I'm with you on the 2008 time frame, and you're lucky. Otherwise, I might be campaigning for Teen Mom
Okay, so Teen Mom, I could get behind. I
just
can
because you can
get
end up
behind Teen
watching the
Mom or
ultimate
16 and Pregnant.
progression. You can get the ultimate progression and then go find Farrah Abraham on Pornhub.
Yes, correct. So and I think actually if you want to follow the Farrah Abraham story, I think she started on 16 and Pregnant, then Teen Mom, and then porn.
God, she's got her own cinematic universe too.
I believe she does. I could be wrong on that. So I'm bought in on your reasoning. So you can sell me on a show. Just to throw it out there, because one of the other questions is where can we watch this? So I have Paramount.
Mhm.
If you don't, I'll just give you a
I
lot.
do.
Okay. So both Jersey Shore and like 27 seasons of Real World are available on Paramount Plus. I'm looking at it now. So those shows are available to us. I can
Okay.
check 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom. So, but I know you were, before we just move on to that train, Andrew, I know you were really bought into the Flavor Flav, going back to Flavor of Love. So, are you still in that? If
Actually,
so, do you want to sell it on me, or are you moving off of it?
I'll move off Flav. I'll move off Flav just because I do know a bit too much. And yeah, it's gonna be. I won't feel as vindicated rooting for Hoops this time around, knowing she wins.
See,
So
and
I'm
that's
okay
kind
to
of my
move
problem
off
is it's
that.
hard for me to get into it when I'm like, I already know who wins, and I already know that Hoops, you're going to end up with somebody like it's not that Flavor Flav is going to do another
And
season of this later.
and I'm also going to, I think, Chuck Teen Mom, just because I don't want to like they have real problems. I'm not trying to deal with that. Now
That
that I
is
think
also
about this
true.
one, they have real problems. Yeah, no, no, no,
That
no.
is
I
also true.
want
You're
I
kind of
want
trying.
fake
Now, granted, in hindsight,
nonsense.
we can look back and we're trashing people that ended up doing okay, but you're not wrong. For the record, 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom both completely available on Paramount Plus. Um, Thank you.
No, dude, just
You're
roll with
raising your
it.
desk.
No, no,
But
I'm
Teen
good.
Mom and 16 Pregnant are available, but you're right. There is a little bit of a punching down scenario there, which I'm all for punching down. I do it a lot, but in this particular moment, not what I'm looking for.
All right, so I guess the question becomes, what is the best season of The Real World?
Well, I could still be sold on Jersey Shore, by the way, for the record. Like I've never seen it. I have a hatred for those people, but that's okay with me because it kind of fits with what I want.
Which one do you hate the most? Out of curiosity, is it the situation? Do you even remember any of them?
I remember a little bit. I hate Snooky.
What's wrong with Snooks?
Aside from the episode of South Park, and I hate the situation because I hate anybody who gives themselves a nickname.
What about Ronnie, Sammy, Mikey, Vinny? Do you remember the rest of the crew, or because
No,
there's like
Paulie. That's the only
MVP going out to the
only one I know
club?
is Paulie.
Yeah, DJ Pauly D. The real question is which ones haven't had tax trouble? I want to say at least
them.
I know Situation, Pauly, and Vinny have.
I'm sure most of them have. None of them seem exactly
You're like,
right.
now that I think about it, I'm kind of starting to move off the nostalgia train a bit. In which case, for
Get
me,
into
I
something
think I
new.
remember. Yeah, I think I remember a bit too much of Jersey Shore for that to be a real contender at this point. As much as it would be good, like I could
So
do.
I obviously haven't seen it, so that part. The good thing for me is if you decide to go nostalgia train for you, it's not nostalgic for me, other than I remember how ubiquitous it became in the culture.
Yes.
But I don't remember the actual show itself because I refused. Absolutely avoided the show. Like, I actually would walk out of the room if people turned it on.
Oh, I remember. Yes. So okay, well, we'll allow you to keep your principles then.
Oh, I'm not. I was willing to sacrifice that. So, okay, so based on a quick Google search, by the way, because you asked this.
Did you find the Ringer article?
Uh,
Because the Ringer put together a top 20 list.
I found that, but I was just looking at Google AI said based on Reddit and other things. It thinks the best seasons, and I do know one of them. So the best season of all time is considered San Francisco, and I do know that Puck is on that season. And while I've never seen the season of Real World from that year, which is 1994, I do know who Puck is because I remember Real World versus Road Rules, Battle of the Sexes. Puck was on that, and he disappeared into the wilderness in Hawaii. Um, I do know, and then the second best is Las Vegas, which I did watch in 2002, but I don't remember it enough that it would. I think it would be a problem because I remember watching it and like it just in that way that you watch things when you're in middle school and you're like, man, that seems so much cooler than everything I'm doing. And well, beyond that, I don't really know much about that season. New Orleans is considered a good season, Seattle, and then back to New York.
Okay. Yeah, I say pick a season and run with it. And I think what I think is going to be the most jarring thing of all is that, like, I remember Real World Vegas, and they were talking about like, they're pumping pheromones in because everybody kept hooking up. What passes nowadays on like, you know, any channel, like we are so desensitized. So like what used to be racy back then is gonna be like, wow, this is like
That is a
Disney
good
G
point too.
rated.
So
Because I feel
I think
like that, at least from my perspective, was a lot of the real world thing was like young, sex sells, let it ride.
yes,
And nowadays, I mean, there's like Jesus Christ, they have Euphoria.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, now like one of the most popular HBO shows is about a bunch of teenagers hooking up. So, although I think they're
yeah,
adults
exactly.
in the new season, I don't know. I've never watched Euphoria.
Yeah, I mean, well, then again, they're also, supposed to be high schoolers and it's Hollywood. I mean, but they all look
Well, that's
like
what I'm saying.
mid
I
20s.
think in the current season they're supposed to be out of high school now, but I actually don't know.
Yeah. It is funny though, having unrelated, but using like Hollywood representation of like high school and college kids, then going to an actual college and being like, where did all of these mostly naked, drunk children come from? It was jarring.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so I think we've decided on Real World. Then it sounds like you've come along with me.
I can get on board with it. Sure, why not?
Okay,
Yeah, I'm game.
I told you I'd surprise you with my suggestion. I don't think you saw that one coming.
No, just because that was never a show that was really on my radar. Because like
It
my
wasn't on
brother
my
loved
radar until
Survivor,
it
honestly.
wasn't on my radar until literally yesterday. And then I was thinking about this and thought that's something that could possibly be perfect for this. All right, so now the question is, do we go like San Francisco is considered the top rated season of the real world, but that's 1994. I mean, that's old even for us. Like that's like Vegas or one of the episodes in the early 2000s is in an era where we were, high schoolers and we had more cultural
Yeah.
knowledge. 94, I mean, like I was 7 years old. I think that's too old even for me and you.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a bit older than you, but 94, I was 8.
Yeah, I think that's like I said, I mean, like I think some of the cultural stuff going on,
Yeah, we
like
won't get the cultural, we won't get the music, we won't get the media in general. Like, yeah, I think we definitely aim for,
I think it's got to
I
be
would say
2000s.
post, I would say post 2000. That puts me in high school. You're shortly after.
Yes. Yeah, so Vegas, yeah, Vegas is like my eighth grade year, so old enough. Other highly recommended seasons are Portland in 2013, Austin in 2005, Key West in 2006.
Portland's a weird place. Portland could be good.
Portland could be very interesting. Austin could
Lots
be
of
interesting.
Portland and Austin both have lots of people with their own gardens. Really,
And
your
do you know who
demographic.
Johnny Bananas is?
Yeah, he's the juggernaut from the challenge.
Okay, well, Key West in 2006 apparently features Johnny Bananas in his early days. Like it's where he started. But 2005, Austin has fan favorites of the challenge, Wes and Joanna, who I do kind of remember those names.
Yeah, I got nothing. But
But I've
either
never
way,
seen that
I'm good.
season.
As long as it's post 2000, I think it's good. It's easily accessible. It's a 30-minute show, right?
I think so.
Or is it an hour?
Okay, so my suggestions would be Vegas, Austin, or Portland.
I said Portland.
Portland?
Mostly because I watched the first episode of Portlandia not too long ago. It's
All
like
right, so
the
now the real
dream
question
of the
is the
90s is
now the real
alive
question
in
is the
Portland.
Portland season available on Paramount Plus, which I'm about to find out.
Yeah, I just realized I'm not actually logged into any streaming service on my computer.
I wasn't until we started talking and I logged into Paramount Plus to.
Yeah, I'm not entering any of my big, dumb, long, stupid passwords.
You don't have a password manager app?
Not one that I trust enough to sync and auto-populate and everything. I have an offline, yeah, nonsense. I'm a dinosaur.
All right. What season is, Real World is Portland?
So yeah, Real World Portland. All
28.
right.
It's the 28th season. So the season. Yep, it's available. 41-minute episodes, and there are
Hmm.
13 of them, including a reunion episode. In my personal opinion, as somebody who watches 90 Day Fiance way too much, reunion episodes are the best episodes of reality TV. That's when everything falls apart and they all start attacking each other with a moderator. It's great. That's my favorite stuff.
All right, good deal. So yeah, let's see here. Wait a minute. When did this launch? 2013 release.
Yeah, I said that.
I'm almost thinking we're too old now.
That was my only question about that particular season, which leads us back to like maybe Austin would be '05 or Key West in '06. Like '06 would be like my freshman year of college. Might be the perfect time frame.
Real World 2006,
Austin
which
is
is
season 16, which may not be available actually. Oh, no, it is.
all right.
The first
I'm
episode is
fan.
titled Howdy, Welcome to Austin.
Ugh, that's what I was afraid of.
But
If it,
this will make it a little bit better for you too. It's only 21-minute episodes.
okay. Wait a minute. Actually, I think somebody in the house
But
watched
there are
this.
a ton of
Let me see if I recognize any of these people. Oh, no, I don't.
I don't either, and even
And
if I do, it'll come back to me later. So I say we rock with Austin.
Okay, Wes, Lacey, Rachel, Nehemiah, Joanna, Danny, and Melinda. Oh, sure.
All right, my vote is Austin. Andrew, where are you at?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, so lastly, how are we going to do this? Maybe we'll
We're
talk
gonna
about that
watch
off
a
air, and we'll
show.
surprise all of you with it.
I was about to say we're gonna watch a show independently, and then we're going to reconvene in front of webcams and discuss.
All right. Well, tune in soon. You'll get to watch us watch a 20-year-old season of The Real World.
Is it? Oh my lord! It is 20 years. Oh,
It's crazy, isn't it?
whew, that hurts the soul. Yeah. Wow.
20-year-old season of The Real World coming at you soon. Thanks for listening. We'll be back.